Hello class, how are you today? Well, okay, I know that you're fine. I'm fine too. My name is Bukindi Kevin and I'm your today's teacher of English. Well, the today's lesson is about yes or no questions. And the level I'm concerned with is the fourth level of the junior secondary school as it is written on the board. Well, and with this lesson, yes or no questions, what I want, in fact, at the end of the lesson, you learners, you pupils, should be able to make yes or no questions thanks to some sentences that I'm going to give you or I'm going to provide you with. Good. Now, before starting, let us examine some sentences that I'm going to put on the board to help you master quite well how do yes or no question function. Okay. Let me write first the title. Yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. This is the title of the lesson. Good. As I said, let us examine the following questions and answers. The following questions and answers. Let's examine the following questions and answers to help you understand. Understand what yes or no questions are. To help you understand what yes or no questions are. Okay, questions. Now, the question number 1. Does Murphy quit? Does, it's a name. Let me write with capital letter. Does Murphy quit? Question mark at the end. The second one, is French spoken in Congo? Is French spoken in Congo? Sentence number 3, should we see a doctor? 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 Number 4, sentence number 4, how long will you stay? How long will you stay? Number 5, are students really involved? Are students really involved? Are students really involved in their studies? Are students really involved in their studies? Are students really involved in their studies? Now, the last sentence, sentence number 6. Has Paul understood? Has Paul understood? Has Paul understood? Now, these are questions. Now, let me write answers. Okay, answers now. Answers. Now, for the first question, does Murphy quit? Does Murphy quit? Then we say, no, he does not. A, no. Excuse me. No, he. He does not. B now. Is French spoken in Congo? Is French spoken in Congo? Yes, it is. Good. Number 3. Should we see a doctor? Should we see a doctor? Yes, we should. Yes, we should. D now. Okay. How long? Okay, good. How long will you stay? How long will you stay? I will stay for a month. I will stay for a month. I will stay for a month. Number 4, number 5. Number 5. Are students really involved in their studies? Are students really involved? D. A, B, C, D, E. No, they don't. No, they aren't. Our student, yes. No, they aren't. Or they are not. No, they are not. Good. Number 6. Has Paul understood? Yes. 6, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yes. Now, has Paul understood? So, we may say yes. He does. Yes, he has. Has Paul understood? Yes, he has. Good. Yes, he has. Okay. Now, class, look at the question we have here and the answers we have there. Activity number 1. Activity number 1. Activity 1. Classifying the types of questions. Classifying the types of questions. Classifying the types of questions. Now, instruction. Classify these questions into 2 groups. Now, classify, this is the instruction. Classify these questions in 2 groups or into 2 groups. Okay, classify into 2 groups, taking into account taking into account, yes, their beginning. Their beginning. Okay, class, taking into account. Now, I have a chart to fill here. Now, a small chart you have to fill. Okay, I share in the middle. So, group 1, and here, group 2. Now, sentence 1, sentence 2, or let me say question 1, question 2, question 6, question 3, question 4, question 5, and question 6. Now, in group 1, you're going to write only numbers, not all the sentences, only numbers. Try to check what is the question that has a yes or no answer. So this question having yes or no answers, we will write the number here in group 1. And the other questions that don't have a yes or no answer, then we write the number in group 2. Okay, class? This is what you have to do. Try to think about it, class, for a while. Try to think. Okay, now let's start with the question number 1. Does Murphy quit? Quit means abandon, okay? Does Murphy abandon? Now, does Murphy quit? The answer is this one. A, no, he doesn't. Does Murphy quit? No, he doesn't. Now, class, according to the answer, where will I write, or where will you write, here or there? Okay, good, class. That's very good. Now, as does Murphy quit as a yes or no question, answer, excuse me, no, then we say, no, he doesn't. It means that we're going to put it in the group number 1 as a yes or no question. Then I write 1. Thank you, class. You're very intelligent. Let me clap for you. Good. Now let's continue. Number 2. Is French spoken in Congo? Is French spoken in Congo? Is French spoken in Congo? The answer is yes, it is. Now, my question is the second question a yes or no answer? A yes or no question, excuse me? Of course, yes. Thank you very much again. Now, the answer is yes, it is. Then we write the number 2 in the group number 1 again. Good. Thank you very much. First of all, I have forgotten to write something here, 2 in front of the verb. Then we say, let us examine the following questions and answer to help you. To help you. Then let us catch up it, because to help you. Good. Thank you. Now let's come back to our exercise. Now, sentence number 3. Should we see a doctor? Should we see a doctor? Should we see a doctor? Try to see the class. Try to look at the answers. Good. The answer is C. Yes, we should. Yes, we should. Is that a yes or no question? Is should we see a doctor a yes or no question? Right. You're right again. Thank you very much. Now, it is a yes or no question. Then we write number 3 here. Good. Let's continue. How long will you stay? How long will you stay? How long will you stay? Try to look at the answers, class. How long will you stay? How long will you stay? D. I will stay for a month. I will stay for a month. Now tell me, is there a yes or no answer? No, I don't think so. So we don't have a yes or no answer here. It means that the question number 4 is not a yes or no question. Thank you very much. And where will you write it? In group number 2. Good. 4. Good. Now let's continue. Are students really involved in their studies? Are students really involved in their studies? Are students really involved in their studies? Look at the answers. Okay, right. So the answer is no, they are not. No, they are not. Today's pupils are no longer serious. Then you write, now tell me, no, they are not. Is it a yes or no answer? Of course, yes. It's a no answer. It means that the question number 5 is also a yes or no answer. A yes or no question. Then, where will I write it? In group 1 or in group 2? Okay, right. In group 1, because it is a yes or no question. Good. Then I write 5. Now, the last one, class. Has Paul understood? Has Paul understood? Has Paul understood? Try to see. Look at the answers. Okay. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Now, is this a yes or no answer? Once more, yes, it's a yes question. Then it's a yes answer. It means that this question, the last one, is also a yes or no question. Then I write 6 here. Thank you very much, class. You're very intelligent. I'm happy. Good. Now, after this activity number 1, we move to the activity number 2. Identifying one type of question. Identifying one type of question. Okay. Good. Let me clean the board. That's very good. Good. Activity number 2, identifying. Activity 2. Identifying one type of question. Identifying one type of questions. You know, class, that we have 2 types of questions here in the question that I have given you. But we want to identify one type of question. Good. Now the instructions. Okay. Well, so question 1, question 2, question 3, and question 5 and 6 begin with what? Now you write questions 1, questions 2, question 3, question 5, and question 6. They begin with what? They begin with auxiliaries, because does is an auxiliary, is an auxiliary, should is an auxiliary, are is an auxiliary, and has is also an auxiliary. So these questions begin with auxiliaries. That's why they are called yes or no questions. Good, let me write it. Question 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 begin. They begin with auxiliaries. They begin with auxiliaries. That's good. Now, what are these auxiliaries? So, the auxiliaries are does, yes, is, okay, should, what else? Are, good. And the last one is as, has. Okay, thank you very much, class. You are intelligent. Now, then as a conclusion, not a conclusion, but what can we deduce? Then we say a question that begins with an auxiliary is called a yes or no question. A question that begins, or which begins, are the same. A question that begins, with an auxiliary, a question that begins with an auxiliary is called, let me write it clearly here, is called a yes or no question. Okay, now you keep it in your mind, class. Do not forget, a question that begins with an auxiliary then is called yes or no question. But class, tell me, you know that these auxiliaries, let me count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you think that in general we have only 5 auxiliaries? I don't think so. We have many other auxiliaries. And the problem now is to list the other auxiliaries. Good. Now, activity number 3 then is finding other auxiliaries. Okay, class. Let me clean. Okay. Now, activity number 3. Finding other auxiliaries. Good. Thank you, class. Finding other auxiliaries. Now, the instructions. Find the other auxiliaries. Find the other auxiliaries. Find the other auxiliaries apart from the one or the given ones, yes. Apart from the given ones. Apart from the given ones. Okay, class. Now, what are the given ones? Does, is, should, are, has. Now, I want you then to provide me with other auxiliaries because the list of auxiliaries is very long. Good. Now, apart from this, what are the other auxiliaries? Try to think for a while, class. Then write them here. Write them here. Write them here. Okay, good. So, we have does, but what is does in the past? For example, does is the third person singular in the present. But when it is not the third person singular, what is does? What does become? Now, then does is do when it's not the present, the third person singular. Good. We have does, and in the past, do in the present. In the past, we have did, okay? Then did, do. Another one, has, is. Let's come here. Is the third person singular. When it's the first person, we say am, and the plural is. We have also are. Good. Now let's come to should. We have for the conditional should, but also would. Then we have would. Okay. I have already written R is here. No, I don't have to put R. Good. R is already in the list. Then we have would here. Okay. Good. Should, would. Then let's continue, class. Good. And the auxiliary have, has here. This is the third person singular. When we have in the first person, we have. Good. The preterite is had. That's very good. Let's continue again. Other auxiliaries. The verb to be in the past, we have was and were. These are also auxiliaries. And then other ones, can, could. Good, class. Other auxiliaries, must, may. Must, may, okay. Another one, might. These are also auxiliaries. Yes, the future, will. I've seen will somewhere. Will, yes, will. But here we write shall. Good. Shall. Yes, what else? Could. I have already written could. Yes. So these are auxiliaries that you can be using to make yes or no questions. Then we take these auxiliaries here plus the other ones. Then all these auxiliaries are, if they are at the beginning of a question, that question is then called a yes or no question because it requires a yes or no answer. Good. Now, thank you very much, class. Activity number 4. After listing all all the auxiliaries, now we're going to move to the structure to help you understand how do yes or no questions work. How do they function? What you should know to make a very correct yes or no question. Let me clean class. I can even clean here. Okay, good. I clean the board. Okay, thank you, class. Now let's continue. Activity number 4. To make you see quite well, let me clean here. Okay, activity 4. Activity number 4, structure. Activity 4, then structure. Structure of yes or no question. Structure of yes or no question. Yes. A slash. Yes or no question. Okay, class. Now, we have three possibilities, class, to make yes or no questions. 3 possibilities. Then, structure number 1, structure number 2, and structure number 3. Then try to pay more attention now, because this is the way to help you understand it quite well. Now, structure number 1. Structure number 1. Now, remember, class, that we have said that a yes or no question is a question that starts with an auxiliary. Then, at the very beginning, we should have an auxiliary. Good. Now, structure number 1. You have the auxiliary like do, does, did, will, shall, would, should, may, must, plus the subject, plus the verb, plus the object, dots. Okay, now examples. You will understand quite well through examples, class. Now, example. Do you speak English? Do you speak English? Now, class, look at the sentence on the board. My very first example, thanks to this structure, these auxiliaries plus a subject plus a verb and an object. Yes. Now, do you speak English? What is the auxiliary used here? That's right. The auxiliary is do. Now, do you speak English? Let's check the structure. Auxiliary, do, is there. The subject, you, is there. The verb is speaking. And the object is English. Thank you very much, class. That's very good. Good. Now, let's move to the second example. But before, we should have the answer. Do you speak English? We have two answers. Either it might be a yes answer or a no one. Good. Now, do you speak English? If it's yes, we say, yes, I do. Because a yes or no question needs a yes or no answer. I was saying then, class, I was saying that this example, do you speak English, is really correct, is in accordance with the structure which is given here. Do you speak English? Then we have auxiliary, subject you, verb speaking, and object English. And as it's a yes or no question, it needs a yes or no answer. Then we say, yes, I do. Yes, I do. Do not say yes and you stop. That's not good. But you should add a short form answer. Then, yes, I do. Where do we find do? It's the auxiliary at the beginning. We do not imagine it. We do not guess and name, but we find it at the beginning. Then you have the auxiliary plus the person or the subject used. Then you say, yes, I do. If it is not, then you say, no, I do not. The contracted form is don't. Then you can also say, yes, I don't. Okay? Yes, no, excuse me. No, I do not, or no, I don't. You may also use the contracted form. Good, class. Now, let's move to the second example. Changing the auxiliary. Will, Paul, buy a car? Will Paul buy a car? Tell me, class. Now, what is, try to think, class. What is the auxiliary used in the question? What is the auxiliary used in the question? That's right. Will is the auxiliary. At the very beginning. Good. Will Paul buy a car? Now, is the question respecting the structure? Yes, the question is respecting or obeying to the structure. Let's check. Auxiliary plus subject, Paul, plus verb, buy, and a car, the object. Good. Now, the answers. If it's a yes one, then we say yes. Paul is a noun, and this noun can be replaced by a personal pronoun. Then we say yes, he will, because the auxiliary is will. The same auxiliary used in the question is the same auxiliary which must appear in the answer. This is what to do, class. Okay. Now, yes, he will, or no, he will not. No, he will not. He will not. Now, the contracted form for will not is won't. Then you may also say, no, he won't. No, he will not, or no, he won't. Structure number one, auxiliary plus subject plus verb plus object. Here are the examples. 2 examples. Now, class, let's move to the structure number 2. Structure number 2. Okay, structure number 2, class. We have the auxiliary to be. Am, is, this is to be in the present. Are, we also have was, to be in the past, and were. Plus subject, plus adjective. Let me just make an abbreviation because of gaining place. Now, plus, or we may have an adjective, we may have a past participle or a noun. Then past participle, past participle, also we may have a noun. Good. Remember, class, that the first structure we dealt with other auxiliaries. Now we're talking about the auxiliary to be particularly. The auxiliary to be in the present and in the past. Now, examples. Okay, now examples. We may need 2 examples. Good. Well, is John a computer science? Is John a computer scientist, I would say. Is John a computer scientist? Is John a computer scientist? Is John a computer scientist? Good. Answers, class. What is the auxiliary used in the question? We have the auxiliary to be. Is in the present, the third person singular. We say then, is John a computer scientist? Answer. If it's yes, then we say, yes, he is. Good. Yes, he is. Now, tell me, if it's a no answer, what will you say then? No, he is not. No, he is not. Or no, he isn't. Because is not contracted gives isn't. That's the same. No, he is not. Or no, he isn't. Excuse me. Good. Example number 2. Example number 2. Now, were your parents selfish? Were your parent selfish? Were your parents selfish? A selfish man is someone who doesn't want to share his thing to the other persons. Then selfish. Now, were your parents selfish? Were your parents selfish? The auxiliary used here is always or once more to be, but in the past. Were your parents selfish? Then we say, yes, they were. Because parents can be replaced by they as a personal pronoun. Then we say, yes, they were. Or, no, they were not. No, they were not. And the contracted form for were not is weren't. You can also say, no, they weren't. This is structure number 2. Now, let's move to structure number 3 now. Structure number 2. Oh, it was structure number 2, yes. Structure number 2 about the auxiliary to be in the present or in the past. The structure number 2. Now, let's move to structure number 3. Structure number 3. Okay, now let's talk about another auxiliary apart from to be, and the other auxiliary we have the auxiliary to have. Good. Now, in the present we say have or has, and then in the past we have had. Right, class? I know that you're very intelligent. You have already studied this. Have, has, had. That's very good. Good. Now, plus what? Plus the subject as usual, plus a noun or a noun, a past participle, a past participle, a noun or a past participle. Good. Example. Now, we're talking about the auxiliary to have. Remember, structure number 1, or the auxiliaries. Structure number 2, the auxiliary to be. Now, structure number 3, the auxiliary to have. Example with this one. Have you played? Have you played? Have you played? Have you played games? Have you played games? A question mark at the end. Have you played games? Is this a yes or no question? Yes, once more. Why? Because it starts with the auxiliary to have. Good. Now, have you played games? The answer. Yes. Yes. Have you played games? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Or no, I have not. Yes, I have. No, I have not. Or I haven't. That's very good, class. You're intelligent. Yes, I have. Or no, I have not. Or no, I haven't. Good. Class, remember about what we have then seen. It's about yes or no questions. What is a yes or no question? A yes or no question is a question that starts with an auxiliary, and we have given you a number of auxiliaries, and here, this is the end of the structures. Structure number 1 with all the auxiliaries, structure number 2 with the auxiliary to be, and structure number 3 with the auxiliary to have. Now, time to move to an applied exercise. We move to an applied exercise. Good. Applied exercise. Applied exercise. Good. Now, transform these affirmative sentences into, or let's say turn the following affirmative sentences into yes or no questions. Into yes or no questions. I was saying that the applied exercise turn the following affirmative sentences into yes or no questions. Sentence number 1, they are very late. They are very late at school. Sentence number 2, he sleeps very late. Okay. He sleeps he sleeps at 11 o'clock p.m. Yes, that's right. He sleeps at 11 o'clock p.m. Good. Number 3, we all live around the bush. Around the bush. We all live around the bush. To remain natural. Good. We all live around the bush to remain natural. The fourth one, number 4, Thomas left the ship yesterday. The ship yesterday. Left the ship yesterday to get the plane. Number 5. Okay. I will visit the township next month. I will visit the township. I will visit the township next month. Okay. Number 6, the last one for sure. Peter had got a nice PlayStation. Peter had got a nice PlayStation. Good. So class, this is the applied exercise. 6 sentences in the affirmative form that you have to turn into yes or no questions. Now I give you just some minutes that you think about it while I'm cleaning the board. Sentence number 1, they are very late at school. Sentence number 2, he sleeps at 11 o'clock p.m. Sentence number 3, we all live around the bush to remain natural. Sentence number 4, Thomas left the ship yesterday to get the plane. I will visit the township next month. Peter had got a nice PlayStation. Okay, class. These are affirmative sentences. Turn them into questions to have yes or no questions. Good. Now let's correct the sentences. Correction of the applied exercise. Good. Sentence number 1. They are very late at school. Let's turn it into a question. Then we say, are they very late at school? Are they very late at school? Now, what will be the answer, class? The answer to this, are they very late at school? Is it a yes or no question? Then we need a yes or no answer. Good. So if it's yes, then we say, yes, they are. Good. Now, if it's a no answer, we say, no, they are not. Or they aren't, as you know. Sentence number 2, class. He sleeps at 11 o'clock p.m. Very late, it means the same. 3, number 2 then. Let's turn it into a question. Good. He sleeps at 11. We say then, does he sleep? Does he sleep at 11 o'clock p.m.? A question. Does he sleep at 11 o'clock p.m.? Answer. Yes. I told you, remember class, that we just need the auxiliary, the same, and the person, the same too. Then we say, yes, he does. If it's a no answer, then we say, no, he does not, or doesn't. No, he doesn't. Question number 3. Sentence number 3, I would say, we all live around the bush to remain natural. Now, let's turn it into a question so that it becomes a yes or no question. Then we say, do we all live around the bush? Do we all live around the bush to remain, excuse me, to remain, yes, to remain natural? Question mark. Yes, Now, the question, the affirmative question, sentence is now turned into a yes or no question. Now, what will be the answer? Yes. The auxiliary is do. The person is we. Then we just say, yes, we do. If it's a yes question, and if it's a no one, we say, no, we don't. Good. Number 4. Thomas left the ship yesterday. Not today, but yesterday. It means that it's the past. Left is the preterite of to leave. Then the question, the yes or no question that we'll find should be put in the past. Then we say, did Thomas leave? We cannot use the preterite twice, just once, because the preterite is in did. Then we cannot use the same preterite in left. Then we say leave. Did Thomas leave? Did Thomas leave? Where am I? The ship. The ship yesterday. Did Thomas leave the ship yesterday to get the plane? Question mark. And what will be the answer? If it's a yes one, remember class, what is the auxiliary used here? Did. The person, he, because in Thomas we have he. Then we say, yes, he did. The same auxiliary. If it's a no one, we say, no, he did not. Or he didn't, because did not contracted is didn't. Good. Number 5. I will visit the township next month. I will visit the township next month. Let's turn this into a yes or no question. 5. The auxiliary is will. We know that a yes or no question starts with an auxiliary. Then we say, will I, the person, visit, will I visit the township? Will I visit the township next month? Will I visit the township next month? Answers. Yes. Yes. What is the auxiliary? Will. The person, I. Then I say, yes, comma, I will. If it's a no one, then we say, no, I will not. Remember that I told you, will not contracted is won't. Then, no, I will not or I won't. Good. The last sentence. Sentence number 6. Peter had got a nice car. Peter had got a nice car. Let me clean first here. Because we don't have any place. This has already been done. Good. Now, number 6. The question number 6. The sentence 6. Peter had got a nice car. Let us turn it into a question. We say then, had Peter got a nice car? Good. A nice PlayStation, excuse me. A nice PlayStation. A nice PlayStation. PlayStation. Good. Had Peter got a nice PlayStation? That's the question, class. Is it a yes or no question? Yes, because it starts with the auxiliary had. Now the answer. If it's a yes one, we say yes. What is the auxiliary? Had. Then we say yes. What is the person? Peter. And what is the personal pronoun embodied in Peter? It's he. Then we say yes, he had. And if it's a no one, we say no, he had. He had. He had not. Or he hadn't. He hadn't. Good. Okay, class. This is the end of the applied exercise. You have been very intelligent for knowing how to deal with to turn the sentences into the questions, into yes or no question. Now, let's shift to the homework. The homework, because at the end, you should have the homework. Homework, class. Transform the affirmative sentences below, into yes or no questions. The same exercise that you have just done. And then this, you will do it at home. Yes, you do it after this alone, not with me, but you do it alone, and we're going to correct it next time. We're going to correct it next time. Okay. Good. So, the last exercise is this one. Transform the affirmative sentences below into yes or no question. Sentence number 1. John and Jessica were 10 the day before. Sentence number 1. Number 2. The social media can change your behavior. The social media can change your behavior. Number 3. The ancestors have spoken in your favor. The ancestors have spoken in your favor. Number 4. Kevin eats vegetables every week. Kevin eats vegetables every week. Number 5. I will travel to London next month. I will travel to London next month. So, class, this is the homework, the last exercise that you will do alone, not with me, but alone. Okay, class. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let me do this first before speaking for the last time. Now, class, I've been very happy, or I'm very happy for this work. Thank you for the work that you have done with me. Let's meet next time for another lesson. Goodbye.